Hey, good morning, Mountain and beyond. It is Kona Coffee Batman Mug Time, which means it is yet again Mondays on the morning with Mondays on the Mountain. There we go. Monday mornings on the Mountain. In combination of those things. With Pastor Ken, I got a question for you really fast. Would you say you know God or you just know about God? There's a very big distinction to be made there. The example I used around here yesterday was talking about, especially in the 90s, man, there was a time that I knew all about Michael Jordan. I knew all about his stats. I knew where he went to college. I knew how many times he was the MVP. I knew how many versions of Air Jordans came out that particular year. But I know nothing about Michael Jordan. I know nothing about the kind of man that he is, what kind of husband he is, father, whatever. I have no idea about those things. And oftentimes that's kind of how we are with God, is we got a lot of information about God, but we don't have a relationship with God. And so my carrot I was dangling on the end of the stick yesterday for our people is that offer of intimacy and friendship with God is on the table. And we have been cultivating an atmosphere and heart like Moses around here, that in Exodus 33, Moses says, God, show me your glory. I need to know the deep things about you, the intimate things about you. And the God of the universe is holding that offer out to anyone who will. Our thesis verse for yesterday was Psalms 25:14. The friendship of the Lord is for those who fear him, who stand in awe of him, who hold him in distinct and honorable reverence. So we want to be those sorts of people who not only know about God, but we're friends with God, that God is everything to us. God is not something that we fit into our lives. Relationship with the divine is something that redefines everything about our lives, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. A quality we must have for that, as already said, is the awe and the fear of the Lord. And when we have those things will precipitate an obedience toward the Lord. When I awe God, when I fear the Lord, when I hold him in highest esteem, I start to almost reflexively, but through the process of discipleship, loving the things he loves and hating the things he hates. That is obedience right then and there. And Jesus himself says this in the book of John. He says, you are my friends. I call you friends when you do what I tell you to do, when you walk in the way I want you to walk, when you live your life in the way that I know is best for you to live, I will call you a friend of God. I need to be very clear about this. I am not talking about salvation. Salvation is freely given to any who will, any who extol Jesus as Lord, yes, but they repent and invite him in to be the Lord of their lives, then that's salvation. What I'm talking about is the quality of relationship we have with the Almighty after salvation. And just like in your life, you have different levels of friends and people that you would say they're my buddy, but they're kind of on the outer circle. And then people like they're my family, they're my friends, they're my inner circle. They can call me at 3 a.m. to help them move, and I'm answering the phone. Okay, those sorts of things. God seems to have those sorts of levels of relationship as well. So we want to be the kind of people who says, I want all of you. I want to be inside your heart. I want to know you deeply. If the call to friendship is given to us, we have to understand that intimacy is a mutual thing. It's not one-sided. So if a call to intimacy with the divine is given to you, and God already knows all there is to know about you, he knows you better than you know yourself, then the offer on the table is, come and know me. Come and know the deep things of me. Come and know the deep things of the divine, of God's nature, and that is on the table for us. The other thing that was kind of a bit of a heavy-handed but sobering caution is in Matthew 7, Jesus says this, many on the day of judgment will come up to me and say, Lord, didn't I do all these things in your name? I went to church all the time. I ministered in your name. I've even seen the miraculous. I served. I lived outside of myself, and I did these things in your name. And Jesus says something very scary. He says, many will say that to me, and I will say back to those many, I have never known you. Now, the Greek word for know there is gnosko. Gnosko is the same word used for the way spouses will intimately know one another. So what Jesus is saying is on that day, you may think that we're okay, but I've never had that kind of relationship with you. That is not to be a fear-mongering verse. It's supposed to be sobering and a caution for us to consider. Am I in that group? I'm going to straight up ask you, are you in that group? Do something about it on this side. But it's also to hold out in front of us. Jesus is saying, I want to be intimate with you. I want you to know me in a deep, powerful, and life-changing way. So that's my question I want to leave you with today is, are you intimate with God? If the answer to that is no, my next question is, do you want to be? Do you want to be intimate with God? If you do, you can be. It starts with awe. It starts with reverence. It starts with, you're higher than I am, and I want you to show me your glory. So let's be those sort of Moses people today. Let's deal with where you are actually with the Lord. And if you're not where you want to be, you can get there. I love you. I'm praying for you. For those of you I'll see on Sunday, I'm looking forward to it. For those of you I'm not going to, I love you and I'm praying for you anyway. God bless. Have a great week.